Stop disbelieving that the melanin skin can't be creative and come up with something that hasn't been came up with before. You know why? Because it takes away from who we are. And our youth are looking for examples. Don't raise your youth to tell them they can be anything that they want to be. But then when you find one that is, I'll let you finish that.
So some of us would ask, what is a video on demand? I would say that it's a media distribution system that allow people like yourself, users, to access videos without that traditional video playback device. So it doesn't give you the constraints of a typical static broadcast schedule.
Hello, my people. Welcome again to MCM, My Community Matters. I'm Gregory Bernard, the life coach. One thing you're going to find out about our shows is we're going to always provide solutions. So you're not going to have a show to where you're just watching a show and we're talking about a problem and what we're going to do about the problem. Again, well, first I want to thank my sons. They over here using the production part of it, so they're helping me with the production part of it. I share with them that they have to give me a class. That way, whenever they want to go to the store or something, want to record or something, I can I can always do it myself. But you're talking to someone who believes, without a doubt, that when it comes to problem solving, there's not an answer that hasn't been provided under the sun. So, and I like to consider myself one of the best problem solvers that's out there. So, we're going to be providing you with problems, but we're also going to be solving those problems. And it's up to you to really just listen, in its entirety, and examine for yourself, if it's a solution. And for those that are listening, we're just starting this channel. So for those that are listening, send us questions that you may have that's pertaining to the economics, pertaining to relationship problems, dealing with moms, dealing with children, dealing with relationships, dealing with your significant other. So whatever it is, we believe that we have the solution for it. That's the reason why we're here on this channel. There is, let me miss one thing. It's kind of, just imagine going to school. Hey man, what's wrong with your phone? You double jointed. But we just believe that there's a solution. And if we as a community become a village, then we can provide you with those solutions. There is a solution to this economic pandemic issue where businesses are being closed. And we provided those answers in one of the previous videos. Today we're going to talk about social media platforms, right? Because everything with this new technology, people are dependent upon individuals to be able to effectively communicate. And how they communicate? They communicate by way of social media. And in the midst of this social media, you have individuals who are being demonetized. You have individuals who can't provide the content or share the content that they would like to share. And the reason being is because, these large corporations are controlling the information that's going out. which is or should be considered illegal, right? Right? And they're making like millions and billions of dollars off of us because we can't do anything about it, right? Can we do anything about that? I mean, if they decide to say that you can't be on a social media platform for about 2 weeks, let's say that that's your livelihood, that's how you make money. And if they tell you can't do that for 2 weeks, and you're 2 weeks away from making some resources, and now we're going to all these other different platforms. Um, uh, and I'm not going to name any platforms because that's not what we're here for. Again, we're problem solvers, so we're here to always provide options. The reason why there's so many people that, I'm just going to sidebar real quick. The reason why there's so many people that's incarcerated is because they had limited options. And I share with my sons growing up, I said the whole objective is to learn how to problem solve. I paid them like dollars, pennies on the dollars. Each time you guys had a problem, you solve those problems, and whoever came up with the best solution, I'll pay you. So just imagine each and every day they come into me because they want money, but at the same time they're learning how to problem solve. They're learning how to work together as a unit, as a team, and they're learning if they have a problem that they can't solve, they can always go to their dad and find out what that solution is. So that gives them options, that gives them different options, and allow them to be able to use their brain to be creative in coming up with solutions. So that's what we're here for today, right? So how many of us believe in controlled media? Control the media controls the mind. You have 90% of media that is controlled by one entity. So that means that the information it is that you're receiving, are you receiving it from that 90%? And if you're receiving it from that 90%, what do you think that 90% is programming us to believe? Everything it is that we hear. But most of us are not really thinking about that, because why would media do such a thing? Right? Like, why would media do such a thing? Raised in or going to high school, I was in a journalism club, Skrill and Scroll Club, and I loved writing when it came to just doing different stories on different topics. Well, we was told about plagiarism and all those things, and when you write, you have to be honest, and you have to go out there and really do your research. Only to find out as you get a little older that it's not that way. There's a lot of dishonesty when it comes to journalism. So those who are at the top of the game, making hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, well, they know if there's anything it is that they say that they're not supposed to say that's not in agreement with the 90%, we're going to snatch those hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're going to replace you with somebody who's not lying, quote unquote, reporting the news how we want the news to be reported. And because now, these local channels that used to be so popular, now they're on social media because they know that that's where the audience is. They know that that's where a majority of people are listening now, is on these social media platforms. And now the advertising dollars are just going through the roof, meaning they can't do that without us, right? But if I program you and I create all these diversions, have you to think about racism, have you to think about another black person being killed by the officers or police, if I throw in politics, then I'm controlling your mindset, control the media, control the mind, to where you're not really even thinking about social media. You're not thinking about you're getting the information that I want you to receive. You're not thinking about you're being controlled to be on this social media. Though you're complaining, you're not thinking about any other options. I'm going all the way back to the options. What are our options? If this is all that's out there, what is our options? To make sense. What is our options? We know that most of these social media platforms are controlling our minds, but what are our options? So we have to stick with them because that's the only way that we are able to communicate. Remember, we used to communicate by phone. I was one of those guys. I used to talk on the phone for like hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Just love talking on the phone. And now that's replaced with social media. So you may not see me on social media a lot because there's a purpose behind social media when it comes to likes. And those who have been on my Facebook pages and YouTube pages, I always tell people not to like my pages. Just read them. Don't like them. Because no matter how strong you think you are, if it was created to control your emotions with the likes and the memes, and people are controlled emotionally through that. So if you don't like my page, now I'm feeling some kind of way. Now you just changed the course of my day. So if I say just read, it's for those who just wants to read and look at something but don't like them. Like, are you crazy? I remember a gentleman, and I guess because he didn't get the memo, you know what I'm saying? He just liked my page, and I said, bro, no offense, but just don't like my page. What the hell this nigga's talking about? What are you talking about? So I said, you know what? It's kind of difficult to break this down every time I'm writing something and people are liking my page and I'm telling them not to like my page. It's not for you, it's for me. You know what I'm saying? Humility keeps us humble and allow us to be able to still have options. You say, well, is that a solution? Is that the solution that you're talking about? Because I don't really see that as a solution. Well, let me give you the stats, right? They say that we make up, and I'm talking about copper tone skin. Let's talk about copper tone skin first. I don't say black. The reason why I don't say black is because we're not black. I think black was constituted in the 70s, early 70s, late 60s or something. So they just all of a sudden came together. Let's look in the dictionary and find out how we're going to define these people of copper tone. Hey, let's say black. Why not choose a color brown? Why black? And I just remember growing up and my son looking in the dictionary and said, Dad, did you know that black means negativity? It's just all defined negative. Let me look up black real quick. Define black, the color black. The opposite of white, the darkest color owing to the absence of complete absorption of light. Trait decorated, a member of dark-skinned people, especially one of Africa. Real meaning of black. Fear, mystery, strength, authority, elegance, formality, death, evil, and aggression, authority, rebellion, and sophistication. Black is required for all other colors to have depth and variation of hue. The color black represents strength, seriousness, power, authority. That's the real definition of it. But just imagine as a youth, you look at that and you see black means evil, death. And you may notice on my social media page a few years back, probably about 2010 or something, I was like, who came together and said, okay, we're going to be okay with the color black, which is a color, it's not a nationality, as opposed to aberrations, or as opposed to copper tone skin, or as opposed to a nationality. Like, why is it so hard to to define us? And you pick the most dirtiest meaning in the Webster dictionary, and you name us after that. And not only that, but you convince us. You convince us that that's what our name is. That's what our nationality is. Not a color anymore. It's a color and it's a nationality. Something's wrong with that picture. And now we're calling ourselves Black Americans. I am not a Black American. Do my skin look black? No, my skin is not black. My skin is brown. It's copper. It's melanin, right? It's melanin. It's melanin. It's melanin. So we have to educate ourselves and not just take what it is that someone is giving us. We're not Black Americans. No, are we African Americans because we didn't come from Africa? Do your research, people. And let's go back to control the media, controls the minds. I'm not sure if you heard of the brother Dwayne Caraway. Oh, powerful, powerful. If you haven't, you need to look him up on YouTube. Just look at some of the videos. It's empowering. It's empowering. I remember being a guy in history class who would always object to the history that they was teaching us. And I was going to W. Samuel at that time, and I remember being sent to the principal office. And they was telling me, you may have to go to another school because you're like going against everything it is that they're sharing with you. And I remember when we decided to go to another school, which was Lincoln High School. Oh my God, I said to myself, I wish I'd have went there all 4 years. And the reason why is because they was teaching Black history. And I remember the coach was saying, and the coach was teaching Black history, and he was saying, I'm not supposed to be teaching this. But I refuse for you guys to leave here thinking on the false narrative of what history is. And I just love that class. Oh my God, I love that class. I love that class. But my dad always taught me about history growing up. I want you to learn history, your history. And being impressionable, of course, you want to do everything it is your dad is telling you because you want your dad to accept you, to receive you, to like you. So you're like, okay, sure, that's my dad. I'm going to listen to my dad. So let me share this with you. We were here first. This is in no way knock any other culture, any other race. That's not why I speak. I speak because it's imperative that we know who we are, and that's because we've lost ourselves in again because of media, and in the midst of that and being programmed, we begin to dislike each other. We begin to become competitive of each other, and we forgot about problem solving. We forgot about options. We look at those who are incarcerated, again, it's because they didn't have the necessary options to do. Most who was incarcerated didn't have options. No one was there to tell them how special they was. No one was there to tell them that they was very creative. And in my incarceration period. And those who know my story, it's on Facebook. It was, I wouldn't wish that on anyone, but it was probably the greatest experience that I was able to experience because I was protected by this energy that cannot be explained. And I saw so many brothers so creative, and here I am with the college education, and most those who are incarcerated do not even have a GED or high school diploma. I think like 87% do not have a GED. It's a lie. It's like almost 9 out of every 10 people. And one thing I would always share with them is you guys smarter than I am. And they were. But it showed me how many people that do not have options that are put away because if they had options, there's no telling what they would have been able to create. Right? Does that make sense? So, with the negativity of social media, what have we done to each other? We're fighting each other. We're bullying each other. We're hating on each other. The envy is there. The strife is real. The question now becomes, what is it that we can do? What are the options to where we can control this when they control all of social media? Because if you go somewhere and it's 90% negative, you go to a social media platform and there's 90% negative, you're going to leave with negativity. I don't care how strong you are. You're going to walk away with that negativity. And not only the negativity, but now you're going to feel a sense of addiction. I am addicted now to this social media, even though I know that it's eating away at me, even though I know that when I leave this platform, I'm feeling some kind of way and it's affecting my home. It's affecting my livelihood. It's affecting my job. It's affecting the way that I look at my brother. It's affecting the way that I look at my sister. It's affecting the way that I treat them. But I'm addicted to this platform. I'm programmed. One of the most difficult, I may say one of the most difficult on a whole lot of things because that's why I say one of, right? One of the most difficult things is to admit that we are programmed. But if those are the only platforms that exist, if those are the only platforms that exist, and they're controlled by large corporations who have put, and do your research, they put hours and hours and hours of time into understanding what you're going to do next. So if I can put likes, then I can program someone else when they look at your page because of the envy or because of the strife or because who that person thinks that they are. I'm not going to give them a like today. So now that person who is looking for that like is now feeling some kind of way because you was programmed to not like it. And that's why we put that's why we put that on there, right? That's why they put it on there, right? That's why we put it on there. So that you can be controlled. Now I'm going to feed you a certain amount of knowledge that's going to even control the way that you think. And one thing about programs is we have different channels, right? Like if you go to cable, they got so many different programs. So every channel that you turn it to, I'm still programming you to think what I want you to think. I'm still programming you to be dependent on me. Think about that. I'm programming you to be dependent on me. So every time you come to me, I have a channel that I'm programming your emotions. And subconsciously, there's nothing that you can do about it because you're dependent on coming to me so that I can let you know today how I want you to feel. Remember this, guys. I'm not going to ever come to you. We're not going to ever come to you. I'm not going to ever come to you and not have a solution for you. Now the question becomes, because most of us need options, right? And I look at solutions as options. Most of us need options. So if I provide you, and if we provide you with options, it's up to you to do what? To say, now I have an option. Now I can figure out a way easily now, because you're not really figuring out a way if someone gives you the solution. You're not figuring it out. They are, right? They took the time, the effort, and the love to provide you with the option. Now the question is, am I too programmed? Am I too angry at my own? Am I too hateful? Am I too bitter? Bitter is a powerful word. Am I too bitter to use the option that was provided for me? No matter how good the option is, not even if it works, because it's going to work. We're not going to provide you with anything that's not going to work because it's already been tested. So it's going to work. So the question now becomes, are we ready for the solutions, for the additional options? Because if you're listening to something negative over and over and over and over, why is it that we're drawn to negativity? So when people say, why are these brothers not on social media a lot? It's because I understand that the 10% that's positive on social media, there's no way in the world they can beat the 90 percentile. And they always say that if you can't beat them, join them. And if you don't want to join the negativity, because energy, it zaps your spirit, it zaps your frequency to the point where, guess what? I now belong to this negativity. I am a part of it now. I wake up and now my thoughts are this versus what it was before. Because I'm looking for what? Something that will help me. And in the midst of me looking, and searching, and finding, they're just turning the channel, giving me the program that they want me to have. And the more I input that information, the misinformation, now that misinformation becomes my truth. Come on now. Do we have a little time? Are we drawn to the negativity of other people's lives? What it is that they're doing, the negativity. I don't mean the negativity as in something that's going to prevent you from, because I think in some truth we need to know the negativity because we don't need to go that direction. But just to know the negativity of people's lives and us going deeper and deeper into that rabbit hole as if our life is without error. We walk in error every single day, and we're casting stones like the Pharisees as if our life, and we know behind closed doors in our life, may be worse than the stories that we're listening to. This is the introduction, right? This is real. I mean, this is real. So copper tone, not black, not black. Aberrationist, call me that. Melanin skin, call me that. I'm not black. I'm not black. You can't pick out a color in the dictionary and the worst color there is and then have a whole nationality of people call themselves black and be okay with that. Black means death, evil. So it means evil and strength. I mean, how is that possible? So I'm supposed to pick out the positive that sound kind of okay and say, well, that's me. No, you can't pick out a color in the 1970s. It's just recent, right? In the 1970s, and get with a bunch of black leaders and say, hey, call yourself black African, call yourself black Americans, call yourself blacks. Y'all went from nigga to negro to, and if you think about it, nigga, neja, that means king. So when slavery, they wasn't able to pronounce it, they said nigger, not realizing. Don't let them take your power away. Call me a nigger if you want to. I know what the meaning is. Remember, there's power in words. No matter what you intended it to mean, you're not going to take away my meaning. The original meaning of that means power and strength. And it just takes a little education to say, call me that. I'll be okay with that. No matter what your intentions are, I know what the meanings is, and it's okay. And I'm not going to be controlled by social media to where that word is bothering me because I understand the meaning behind the word. No matter what you used it for, because you couldn't pronounce it, because of our English, because of our language, and the language that we were speaking. So what we called ourselves Naga, Naija, Naga. What did he call himself? Nigger. Hey, nigger, come over here. He's calling me king. Let's not use that word anymore. Or let's use that word in a negative tone to where they can stop, because now we know what it means. Let's just keep calling them that in a derogatory way to where they can stop using that meaning. And now let's call them Negroes. Let's call them colored. Now let's call them black. All through the generations, we've been called all these different. Come on, how are you gonna do that and then have us to go along with it and be okay with it? I'm not okay with it, and we shouldn't be okay with it. But I started the conversation about social media platform, right? If they control all the platforms and they're putting out all these messages on a consistent basis, what is it that we can do? Well, think about this. Minorities. Copper tone skin make up $1.5 trillion of the economy. And I think which is what, 13% of the population. 13% of the population. And we make up $1.5 trillion of the freaking economy. Are you listening to that? Does that make sense? That means that our financial dollars is what makes America run. If you're less than 13% of the freaking population, and you're the number one when it comes to making the economy flow, $1.5 trillion. What does that say? And 69% of the copper tones are on social media. 69% of the melanin is on social media. That's That's money. So while I feed you this media, you're feeding me all of these resources because I'm getting money each and every time that you touch this social media. I'm controlling the world because you're on my social media platform. Hey, guess what? Let's bring the Hispanics. Hispanics makes up 70%. Look it up, guys. 70% of Hispanics are on this social media platform. They're minorities too. So if it's 69% copper tone, melanin skin, 70% Hispanic, do you know how much money that is that we're giving individuals and large corporations that are doing what? Programming us every single day to not get along, to not agree, to become diverse, to become divided. Divided we fall, and we have been falling because we're divided, because we haven't been able to get out of this program, this matrix of confusion of why is it that I dislike my brother? Why is it that I can't be honest with myself and say I was wrong? Think about it, guys. Think about it, ladies. But we're so smart. You may have the best jobs. You may have a job where it takes your intellect to make 500K a year. But we're not that bright when it comes to us being programmed. And that's okay. That's why they call it a program. And every channel that we go to, we're being told a different message. But yet the same message, but delivered just a different way. So they're making unlimited resources. They say if you want to prevent someone from manipulating you on a consistent level, because now our children are being manipulated. And because of this pandemic, I mean, with the social media bullying that's coming from us and our children watching it, now just imagine why they're acting the way that they're acting in school. Just imagine what type of effect that the social distances now is having on them mentally. And here we are still being programmed. Now they got us divided on politics, blacks, whites, Hispanics, all divided. Because every time you go on my platform, I'm going to make sure that I'm programming you. Because I know how you think now. And we're left with what? Options. What are our options? We're still asking the system to give us something. We're asking the system that's programming us to give us more. So do you feel, do we think about, and I say this from a knowledge perspective. Do we still feel that intelligent now? Understanding that it's a system that's controlling us mentally and putting us in a matrix program to where we just stay divided. Have it ever crossed our minds that they have us talking and discussing only the things that we don't agree upon? We're just going to keep us divided. Because everybody have 1,000 opinions. You got 1 million people with 1 million different opinions on one topic. But what if we only discuss the things that we agree upon? What type of changes it is that you believe that we'll be able to make? This is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about asking a system to give us resources to do things that our community can do ourselves. Does that make sense? It should make sense. But again, we're not here to just talk about the problem. We're going to provide you with solutions, right? Are you ready for the options? Yeah, I'm ready for the options. Give me the options, man. Come on, dude. Give me the options, dude. I'm going to give you the options. I'm going to give you the solutions. I just got to give you the stats. What happened to family? And I fall victim in that. We're all victims. You know what I'm saying? We're all victims. No one is exempt. No one can cast a stone. The last thing you will ever see me do, that's why you still have not heard me mention any of these platforms. They've already gotten us. They already have us, right? So why would I mention them to give them more power? Life and death lies in the bowels of the tongue. The tongue set on fire the course of nature. So why would I give them something to empower them even more when I can give us something, when we can give us something to empower us as a country, as a world, as a community? And you're going to have individuals who you're going to know what side that they're going to be on, because they're talking a great talk, but where's the solutions? And where's the plan of action that we all can follow? And we're not giving too much of ourselves or our funding or our finances, because most of us may not have the finances. So how are you going to do all this if most of us don't have the finances? Well, guess what? It's not difficult. And we're going to share with you that we can't, first of all, do it without you. No one can. So don't let anyone think or tell you that they can do it without you. Social media would not be powerful without you. How much is your vote? Why would I give you my vote if you're not going to tell me what it is that you're getting for it? It's not free because I'm copper tone. So I'm not even going to discuss that until you're ready to discuss that. So right now what I'm doing is I'm sounding the alarm. If I could scream, I would scream right now, but you guys would really think that I'm really crazy. And I think we're all crazy. I don't think that you can survive in this world and not be affected or traumatized by all the things that have happened and the things it is that media has shown us and shows us every single day. And even those who are reporting the media, they're thrown the fuck off. But when it comes to ownership, what is it? Less than 2% of black-owned businesses, corporations. And when it comes to social media platforms, 0.000000000.1% ownership when it comes to black-owned platforms. So just based upon these statistics alone, how do we affect change? Where do we start? We're already starting. You're getting educated. And remember, we are all individually gifted in certain areas. My gift is not the gift of speaking. My gift is the gift of problem solving. So I can only try to deliver it the best way that I can in hopes that you're able to get it. So that means if I provide it to you from a milk perspective, even if you like meat, you're still able to drink. So you're still able to understand it. And this may be the only way that I'm able to explain it is by giving you milk. So I don't have the profound words and the what do you call it, the manipulation, debating debating uh, 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 words that will just grab you and just motivate you. That's not who I am. I'm just gonna give it to you like milk to a baby. And now that everything is in this new technology, social media, everything is AI, artificial intelligence. And since everything is artificial intelligence, and because all this money and resources it is that they have because they own everything, we have to start with social media platforms. Because it controls our dollars, where we spend, how much of our dollars goes back into our neighborhood, how much of the dollars that these large corporations, how much are they pouring back into our neighborhood? But yet they have 69% of the copper tone skin addicted. It's almost like a free vote. Each and every day we're giving them a free vote. 70% of Hispanics. And what are we doing? We're still begging and we're still complaining. But how do we remove ourselves from that? Because, hey, I got 250,000 people. I got 500K people. You know how long it took me to do that? You educate them. Just the way that you're becoming educated now. You educate them. Because you know what they're saying. Our people are too programmed to change because we become too comfortable. Some have said we've fallen in love with the amount of subscribers that we're too afraid to change. Some have said we just like complaining. Some have said we speak about melanin ownership. But if you're not a celebrity or entertainer or athlete, no one will listen. Who the hell do he think he is? This is, it is what it is, right? And you know, a lot of us, it's like, what's in it for me? The envy is so strong. Some of us have been programmed too long to where the envy is too strong for change. And no disrespect to any other nationality, because I'm speaking to really one nationality right here on this one. Some say that melanin only follow what whites do, and they don't trust anything a brown skinned persons create. Because even though we say that we're power, we haven't seen it. So if you haven't seen it, why should I believe it? So let me say this to the melanin skin and the Hispanics and any other nationality who knows that we're being divided, who knows that economic empowerment begins with ownership. Now we're getting to the solution. You ready for it? It starts with you. And we're not looking for your free vote. All of our lives, we've been doing things for free. Hey, where do you get those shoes at? Oh, I got those shoes at Dillard's. Oh, I'm going to get me a pair. How much is Dillard's paying you for that? Everything we've been doing for free. Because we've been programmed to do so. But when it comes to something that you can own yourself, we move back and we say, no, we have to do this for free. So empowering begins with ownership. That means to integrate you, your audience, to our platforms. No different from saying voting for the lesser of two evils, right? Because that's what we've been doing all our lives. But if you have someone that understands the two evils and the problem solving is, let's create a platform that separates us from the two evils. And it gives the power back to the community. It gives the ownership back to the community. So what are you waiting for? And when we start doing this, eventually we will have them all. But it starts with you now. No more complaining about the platforms monopolizing small businesses. What we have, Black YouTube. It's only better for the user and the streamer, which means majority ownership goes to the community. What we have, OnlyFans. Only is better for the user and you get majority resources. What we have, versus only you receive the pay-per-views. What we have, online competition of all types. So you pay to vote for your best video. Support by communities. And winner takes all. Come on. What we have, virtual business cards, less than $5.89 a month.
That it's going well.
Hmm?
I can tell that it's going well.
How can you tell?
I walk in, you shake your head, yeah, like
Yeah, because I'm almost finished with it, nigga. I'm almost finished with it, bro.
They have you looking like me in the studio when I do a drink first. Like, yeah.
Nah, this is powerful, man. This is powerful. They just come from a store. What we have, virtual business card, less than $5.89 monthly. What we have, virtual websites, less than $19.89 monthly. Better than anything that's out there. But we give majority ownership to you, the communities. So that means that, guess what? You're making more than the company is. Who will do that? What we have, virtual stocks that would eliminate all of your monthly bills. No matter how much money, how much you need monthly, no matter how much your monthly bills are. That's what we have. This is real, man. This is real. What we have, virtual stocks that would eliminate all of your monthly bills, no matter how much your monthly bills are. Copper tone. What we have, Black Zoom. ownership by melanin skin. Come on, come on, come on. And that's just to name a few. So just imagine you switching, integrating to a platform that's given the ownership to the communities. Everyone who's invested in it, you're receiving something monthly each and every month. How are you able to do that? You program artificial intelligence to do good just as well as they're doing it to do bad. And you're not greedy. You're not taking 80%. You're giving 80% to the people. Enough 20% would mean that you're okay as a business, right? Why we got to take 80%? When we know that the people are the ones who need the resources. That means we're giving majority ownership to you. No large corporations will ever do this. I guarantee it. So for those who say are melanin skin and Hispanics and others who believe in unification are too loyal to the years of abuse to change, we say different. Register today. No more demonetization. No more controlling your content or telling you what you can say or can't. Platforms that are truly owned by its community. So until we infect, not affect, because if we wanted to cause an effect, right? But until we infect the pocketbooks of these corporations, they will forever be in our pockets versus us and theirs. Go melanin. Go Hispanics. Go other nationalities that sees what's happening. Remember the Freedom Riders? It wasn't only blacks, but when there was a white person that got killed, there was more white folks that stood up and said, this is enough. So go. Not because we're melanin skin, because every skin is not kin, right? So not because we're melanin skin, but because we see the need. We're answering the call. But most important, we're giving ownership to community. And not just ownership, but majority ownership to all of our subscribers. And to our platform techs who happens to be melanin. I have no problem supporting other platforms. But if you have a platform that's created by the melanin, and its whole purpose of creating this platform is to empower communities, I mean, you have to tell me what other platform is doing that. That's giving community ownership. That means if the platform goes down, we all go down. Currently, if a platform goes down, they're making billions of dollars, so it doesn't matter. So your question is, or should no longer be, what is it that we're supposed to do, right? You integrate to a platform that's owned and operated by a community, where community has majority ownership. And we will share with you why this is more user friendly than the platform that you're currently using. We had We had a Facebook platform probably back in 2011, and we was attacked like crazy. And somehow all of our content, site, everything, filled with backdoor Trojans, and we lost it. All the effort and the work that we put into that. It's almost like one of those things where you just sit back and like, you know what, I can't do that all over again. Not right now. I just need a little bit more time. But you're looking for a Zoom. That's owned by community. Then when you look at these platforms, you're going to see that these platforms are created to where now we're able to provide financial support to all of our talent, to all of our subscribers, to everyone who lives in a community, to all of our students, to all of our youth. And you're going to have individuals say, well, my God, they what? They took the time to see what the problem was and they created a solution. And it's not about competition, because we can still work together no matter what we're doing. We can still work together. It doesn't matter where it comes from, right? And when you go to some of these sites, you're going to see just some of the work that we've already done with just the students and the youth, starting at the age of 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, some as young as 5. No pedophilia. But somebody that's after God's own heart, somebody that believes that opportunity exists for those, and options equals more opportunities. And a lot of times, most of these individuals are just looking for more options, more opportunities. Show me a better way. Show me a way to where I can make $800 a month, just extra, doing nothing. We got that. What is he talking about? We have that. We're not playing. This is no joke here. We're not going to provide you a solution that's not going to work. You do the math. Even if you're not in school anymore, this is math that you don't even have to be in school. You know, when your son get home, or your daughter get home and say, hey, I need some help with this math. Hey, you might need to look that up on Google or something. You know what I'm saying? You might want to look that up on Bing or something. I don't know. But we're going to do the math with you. We can guarantee you monthly resources. It's no multi-level marketing. It's no crowdfunding. It's no begging. It's community supporting community. It's you paying attention and saying, this is our opportunity, and we will not be programmed by a system that is systematically controlling our minds. Again, until we infect the pocketbooks of these corporations, we will forever be in their pockets. I'm GB. You're going to see some of the websites at the end. Register. Check it out yourself. We're always here at 682-231-2366 to let you know how it works. And the more you broadcasters and YouTubers who have 500K followers, bring them to our platforms. Our platform may be a little different when it comes to the likes and things of that sort, because a lot of things we didn't put on there because we don't want us to be controlled by our emotions, because you'll be surprised how many people are not responding to you because they don't want you to feel good about yourself. So a lot of things we eliminated, but we put it together to where you still have majority ownership. You're still able to create your own subscription based upon your fan base, based upon your subscribers, right? And it can still be free. And if they choose to support you on a monthly basis, they're able to do that. Do you know how many people will support? You know, if you have 250K followers or subscribers, and you provided a way for them to make additional resources on a monthly basis, and you educated them on how to do that, which is real simple education, just register. You don't think that they would support you each and every month. So that's $250,000 if you just use $1, right? Even if you did $2, they'll still do that because you just showed them how to do what? How to make $800 extra a month, how to make $80 extra a month, how to make $45 extra a month. You just showed them that. So you don't think they'll give you $2? So that's what, 500K a month. Come on. That's what I mean by community scratching each other's back. Stop disbelieving that the melanin skin can't be creative and come up with something that hasn't been came up with before. You know why? Because it takes away from who we are. And our youth are looking for examples. Don't raise your youth to tell them they can be anything that they want to be. But then when you find one that is, I'll let you finish that. So this is a father and son's team. We're operating as such. Give majority ownership to the community. Share with them how they'll be able to make resources without being dependable upon a system that was created for their demise. And only discuss those things that you agree upon, which brings all those who believe and create a new system where communities are taking care of communities. Like, who wouldn't do that? Quote unquote. If everything is quote unquote, everything that I say is 100%, who wouldn't do that? Because now we're about to separate who? Those who are for you and those who are against you. And that's the one thing that we really haven't been able to do, but we're doing it now. If you look at social media, you know, some forms of social media, with the knowledge that people are getting, they're being able to express their knowledge. It's separating those who are good, and it's separating those who have never been good. And it doesn't matter what color, what nationality that you are. So be ready and be okay. Be okay when you find out that the person that you thought was on your team has been bought or priced. I'm BG, the life coach, the problem solver. I'm a co-founder of a few social media platforms. I would say that most would be surprised it even exists. Our story was profiled in Black News, Black Press, Black Enterprise, ABC, NBC, Telemundo, and that's just to name a few.